Dear colleagues, the next briefing is the official launch of the Permanent International Media Monitoring Mission on Disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian Diaspora. Mr. Eugene Czolij, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. It is my pleasure to greet everyone at this press conference to announce today's official launching of the work of the Permanent International Media Monitoring Mission on Disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian Diaspora, organized by NGO Ukraine 2050. My name is Eugene Czolij, and I'm the past president of the Ukrainian World Congress, the current president of NGO Ukraine 2050, and the head of the Permanent International Media Monitoring Mission on Disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian Diaspora. Ukraine 2050 is a nonprofit NGO established in Ukraine in December 2019 to help implement within one generation strategies for the sustainable development of Ukraine as a fully independent, territorially integral, democratic, reformed, and economically competitive European state. The main objectives of Ukraine 2050 are to promote the defense of Ukraine and its full membership in NATO and the European Union, the recognition of the patriarchal status for both the Orthodox Church of Ukraine and the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church, and the positioning of Ukraine in the top 10 EU states by gross domestic product and in the top 20 countries in the UN World Happiness Report. The leadership of Ukraine 2050 is composed of very prominent personalities, as our honorary board includes the head of the Orthodox Church of Ukraine, the head of the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church, rectors of top universities in Ukraine, 3 members of the European Parliament, the Premier of Alberta, Canada, and a well-known and respected businessman and philanthropist in Canada. Our board of directors also includes leading members of our churches and the Ukrainian World Congress, a Ukrainian member of the Romanian Parliament, the current and past presidents of the European Congress of Ukrainians, the vice president of the Association of Ukrainian Organizations in Germany, the managing partner of one of the top law firms in Ukraine, Vasil Kisil and Partners, the president of the Canada-Ukraine Chamber of Commerce, the director of the International Institute of Education, Culture and Diaspora Relations at Lviv Polytechnic, the scientific director of the Molecular Pathology Laboratory at McGill University Health Center, as well as successful professionals and businessmen. The executive director of Ukraine 2050 is Miron Naida, a businessman from Kyiv. I wish to take this opportunity to thank Caisse Populaire des Jardins Ukrainiens de Montréal, a well-known Ukrainian credit union in Canada, for its precious support of the activities of our NGO. Today, the topic of disinformation is the subject of constant debate among government officials and civil society in many countries around the world. It is no longer a question if disinformation exists. Instead, the discussion centers on the extent to which disinformation affects our daily lives. Therefore, the main challenge for the international community, and particularly Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora, is to raise awareness on disinformation among the population and a better understanding of the dangers of relying on information without knowing its source and motives. In Ukraine, this issue is even more relevant since Russia is from 2014 openly conducting a hybrid aggression against Ukraine to regain control over it, and disinformation is a very important component of this hybrid aggression. 6 years ago, On November 3rd, 2015, in his testimony on this issue before the Subcommittee on Europe and Regional Security Cooperation of the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee, former U.S. Deputy Assistant Secretary of State Benjamin Ziff stated that the Kremlin sponsors these efforts to sow doubt, confusion, and suspicion and question even the most basic truths with a sophisticated $1.4 billion a year propaganda apparatus at home and abroad, which claims to reach 600 million people across 130 countries in 30 languages. The Russian government also funds think tanks and outside organizations in its neighboring states to help achieve its goals of promoting the Kremlin's false narratives, portraying the West as a threat and undermining trust in independent media, as well as Western institutions and values. End of quote. In this regard, Ukraine and its 20 million Ukrainian diaspora must make every effort to counter such disinformation and ensure that the international community forms its opinion and makes its decisions about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora on the basis of accurate information. To help achieve these goals, on January 25th, 2021, NGO Ukraine 2050 started the organizational work to deploy a permanent international media monitoring mission, which will monitor the media, social networks, and other information resources in various countries in the world for disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora, analyze the findings of this monitoring, and take effective measures to help counter such disinformation, including by sending requests to appropriate government authorities and administrators of media and social networks and other information resources to exclude disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora and to block the sources of such disinformation. On May 16th, 2021, the Board of Directors of NGO Ukraine 2050 officially approved the establishment of a permanent international media monitoring mission on disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora and elected the following leadership of this mission. Head of the mission, Eugene Czolij; Executive Director of the mission, Miron Naida; Chief Analyst of the mission, Roman Panchuk; Director of Strategic Communications of the mission, Peter Shtik. We have a very impressive mission. As of this day, there are 164 members of the mission, all volunteers from 55 countries who will be doing media monitoring in 41 languages. Our mission has two teams, namely a team that monitors media, social networks, and other information resources, and generates reports on articles that disseminate disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora, and a team that analyzes the data of the reports, draws conclusions, and takes effective measures to help counter such disinformation. The media monitors of our mission are from the following 55 countries in alphabetical order: Argentina, Australia, Austria, Belarus, Belgium, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Brazil, Bulgaria, Canada, Croatia, Czech Republic, Cyprus, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Georgia, Germany, Great Britain, Greece, Hungary, India, Ireland, Israel, Italy, Japan, Kazakhstan, Latvia, Lebanon, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Moldova, Mozambique, New Zealand, North Macedonia, Norway, Paraguay, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Russian Federation, Serbia, Singapore, Slovak Republic, Slovenia, South Africa, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, United States of America, and Ukraine. The 41 languages that are covered by our mission's monitoring mission are, in alphabetical order, Arabic, Austro-Bavarian, Belarusian, Bosnian, Bulgarian, Crimean Tatar, Croatian, Czech, Danish, Dutch, English, Estonian, Finnish, French, Georgian, German, Greek, Hebrew, Hindi, Hungarian, Italian, Japanese, Kazakh, Latvian, Lithuanian, Luxembourgish, Macedonian, Maltese, Montenegrin, Norwegian, Polish, Portuguese, Romanian, Russian, Serbian, Slovak, Slovenian, Spanish, Swedish, Turkish, and Ukrainian. As you may have noticed, we have monitors from all the G7 countries and all the 27 EU member states. We are currently working on getting monitors from all the 30 NATO member states. At this time, we have monitors from 27 NATO member states and are still looking for monitors from 3 NATO member states, namely Albania, Iceland, and Montenegro. If you know of additional potential candidates to join our mission as monitors from any country, including from the 3 NATO member states still not covered by our mission, namely Albania, Iceland, and Montenegro, please inform us. To better familiarize the members of our mission with the intricacies of disinformation, we conducted 2 online trainings on disinformation in Ukrainian on March 27th, 2021, and in English on May 15th of this year. Since we wish to sensitize the general public and to raise awareness on disinformation, these online trainings on disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora were recorded and can be viewed on the YouTube channel of NGO Ukraine 2050. We are very grateful to the following experts for having conducted these online trainings and for their acceptance to be the consultants of our mission on disinformation. Mariana Kitsa, Associate Professor at the Department of Journalism and Mass Communications of the Lviv Polytechnic National University. Nadia Balovsak, Associate Professor of the School of Journalism and Communication of the Ukrainian Catholic University. Marcus Kolga, Director of Disinfo Watch and Senior Fellow at McDonald-Laurier Institute. And Artem Leptiev, Stop Fake Fact Checker. To assist the mission with various legal issues, we turn to Andriy Stelmashchuk, Managing Partner of one of the top law firms in Ukraine. And we're very grateful to Andriy Stelmashchuk for accepting that his law firm, Vasil Kisil and Partners, be the legal advisor of the mission. To assist the mission with various language issues, we turn to the following individuals who accepted to be language consultants of the mission, for which we thank them. English language, Irene Metsak from Canada. French language, Sophie Czolij from Canada. German language, Andreas Kaprotsky from Germany. Polish language, Jerzy Reit from Poland. Russian language, Serhiy Vinnik from the Russian Federation, and Spanish language, Georgi Danilishин from Argentina. It is with great pleasure that I now announce the official launching of the work of the Permanent International Media Monitoring Mission on disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora. I sincerely thank the leadership and all the members of the mission for agreeing to participate in this mission, as well as all the experts and consultants for their support of the mission. I'm convinced that our mission will concretely help counter disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora, and that members of our mission will support those who bravely defend Ukraine against Russia's destructive hybrid aggression. In closing, I wish to remind everyone that all relevant information on our mission is available in the media section of the website of NGO Ukraine 2050 at www.ukraine2050.org. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.